Welcome to an extended tutorial on how to develop a loose consist without using the activity editor. Now, you might be saying, well, why is the activity editor open? You still have to place at this time. I place loose consists in the activity editor, but I got this open basically to show the area called Utopia on the Mac tier sub. And today, my challenge to get 222's activity prepared, I have to start moving these loose consists out of there. Because by the time 222 comes, those loose consists are going to change. So I don't use the activity editor to create consists or modify consists. I only use the activity editor to actually create paths for the time being and actually put the loose consists down after I've created them. So how you do this is I'm going to open up a couple of pre-opened notepads here. This here was what the Barry Collingwood job did. The actual first two paragraphs are the work involved that the Barry Collingwood job did. Now he had a Barry turn and he had a Collingwood turn. That activity actually takes 8 hours to complete. It's one of the longest activities I ever created or ran, and it basically involves them switching all day. There were some errors in it, as you can see, hold at Utopia, and basically what had happened was I found out that there was some, after I created the activity, I found out that there were some sidings that were no longer used at the time for years, so I decided to omit them for the Collingwood turn. But anyways, that aside, that is basically copied over from the first two paragraphs, as I said, are copied over from the actual activities instructions for the Barry Collingwood turn. And as you can see, there's the 32768, 32769, 32770 represent the three strings that were left by a CP train. So they filled up the yard. Everything's out of order, which is prototypical, because CP basically all they have to do is drop off what other cars there are for Utopia, and they might have been blocked properly in their train, but it's not going to be blocked properly for Barry Collingwood, which means all this work has to be done. The third paragraph, I created ahead of time what is going to be required and what we have to do. Basically, what we have to do is simulate everything that has taken place on the Barry Collingwood turn, and we start by working Utopia 1, Utopia 2, Utopia 3. From there we create the new Utopia 1, new Utopia 2, new Utopia 3 for 1645, which is going to be the time of the last simulation saved. There's also as well, you can see Benteliner 1, Benteliner 2, Burmis, Brentwood, Comet, and Utopia BCRY as well. So for now, basically, what I'll do is I got that on that one side. We're gonna start by working Utopia 1. So now we don't even see the activity editor. This is basically working Utopia 1 down here. Utopia 1 is consist 32768. This is all in text editor. It's a matter of going in, if you're familiar with copying and pasting, this is basically Control X to cut, and Control V. So we're going to start off by looking at the Barry turn, because the Collingwood turn is going to actually be done later, and I'll get more into that in a minute. So we look at Benteliner 1, and he's looking for 3278 for 6, so we want number 6. You want the beginning of the bracket and the closing of the bracket. Control X. I did the wrong one. Oh well, see, edit, undo. Or did I do the right one? No, I did the right one. I'm getting confused. Control X. Give yourself plenty of space. And Control V and paste. There's the wagon over there, so you got 8-6. Nothing else goes into Benteliner from that consist, or from 32768. Benteliner 2 has 8-0 and 8-5, so once again give yourself plenty of space. And you're taking 8-0, cut that out, Control V. return on that for the next one over here, because the next one you're going to have is 8-5. Control X. And this is actual movements that took place during that activity. You can just imagine the switcher is basically sorting through this consist and he's dropping them off. So he's got everything for Bentaliner. This is the blocking as it heads to berries. So Bentaliner 1 is the first block, Bentaliner 2 is the second block. Burmis, give yourself some space again. 8-3. 8-3 as in 32768-3, just to be clear on that. There's 3, and you want to do 8-8. This is why this activity took so long. There was so much to sort through. Big job. You'd think a small railroad wouldn't have so much, but anyways. Brentwood Trusses only has the one car, which is 8-4, which is that lumber. Once again, we cut that. Give yourself some space again, Control V. Notice the tabbing. The tabbing is important because that's what the consist does. You don't have to set up the tabs. They are already set up by, I'll get into how consists are created in a later tutorial. But anyways, this is going from whatever is your loose consist. 8-1 for Comet Chemicals. And that's all of that. 279, you'll notice 82, 87, where's 89? There should be an 89 somewhere around here. 8085. Sorry, that's my mistake there. 89 is actually going to Canadian Mist on Collingwood, so that's fine for now. Actually, you have to block it anyway, so we might as well put it in there. And there's only one industry being served, so 8-9, and it's being blocked westbound, as you notice too. So it's going to be the first one going in. So let's get 8-9 out of there. And that's under Canadian Mist Distilleries. This is the Collingwood block. There's only one industry being served there today, so we've got that set up. Now it says create Utopia 1 for Monday 1645. The reason why there is still one is because a couple got left behind. Now you want to take the spacing out of this. Now I see the tabs get a little bit confusing here. You just want to make sure that's more or less into the same format. Right now this is all just a work, so you're cutting that. Don't worry about the rest of it. So 2 and 7 is what's left over. Your consist for Utopia 1 is done. Do not save this. This is a consist that is actually used by other activities. So in case you ever want to run it again, you don't want to save it. So you hit X, says don't save, that's okay. We've gone through Utopia 1. From there, although you don't have to do this since Activity Editor is there, this consist is now gone. We've serviced Utopia 1. It's been changed. Now, of course, there's going to be a new Utopia 1 that's going to be put in there, but that's fine for now. Now let's work Utopia 2. We've worked Utopia 1. You can take that off your list. It's been worked. This is like a to-do list. We go back up. Once again, we're looking at we're working Utopia 2, which is 32769. So we're looking for anything that has a 9 on it. These are 8, 0. The first two industries don't have a 9. 9-2 is showing up at Burmis. So we cut that out. And then 2's in there, just checking to see for time. This is probably going to be a 2-part activity. As you can see, it takes a little while. You can imagine this took 8 hours to do, so to actually switch this. So understandably, it takes some time. So 0, 1, 3, 5, 4, and 6, I'm looking to see where they are. 0, 4, 5 is being held at just taking a look here. Just want to make sure that you want to make sure you're putting them in the right ones. I'm looking for 901. Well, let's hold the ones that are in error. 07, 08, 09, 07, 010, 011. Hold at Utopia, 90, 94, 95, 91, 93, 96. So there's a lot in there. 90, 4, 5. Just want to make sure. 6, 3, and 1. 0, 1, 4, 5, 6, and 3. I just want to make sure. 90, 94, 95, 91, 93, 96. So all of this was sent there by accident because they were extra cars. Okay. Which is a little odd, but gives a little bit more work for the guys to go through, because theoretically those industries did not exist anymore. That was the team track. I was sending them into Collingwood. So 0, 1, 3, 5, 4, and 6 were sent in error. Cut that out. And then you wanted to, where it says create Utopia 2, give yourself some space again. And you paste that out. Just looking for the time here. Actually, I'll start this in part 2 just to be on the safe side. We'll work Utopia 3 in the next segment, and then we'll actually create these consists and actually place them. So part 2 is coming up. Thanks a lot.